I wonder if they have dialogue about the kill that I have achieved.
Out here alone? You could use some help. Here's a festival gift for you. Now get yourself something useful.
What is the festival gift? I don't think they let me get anything for free. Pissing all by yourself, handsome? Alright. Maybe I go past this boss fight, it'll re-enable my ability to level? Graceful. Are those all going to be boss fights, I wonder? Or at least enemies? Going through a circus boss fight definitely, like, kind of took me back. It made me think of, like, Shadows of the Damned. Just in, like, in terms of, like, tone. Okay, so the game definitely makes you slow down. Let's see if I can pick this item up while I'm running. Nope. That's a thing to keep track, to be worried about. So every time you pick up an item, you will move significantly slower. Oh, that was weird. Guess we can't climb on that. Yeah, you will go much slower, which means that if you're in a corpse run kind of mood, running around grabbing items and whatnot, while a flurry of people maybe chase you, you might die. You alright, buddy? I believe he's dead. Hotel Krat, the greatest luxury you'll ever experience. Oh my god. Treat yourself to an unforgettable day. Look how fast it goes away! Why is it like that? What a strange choice.
One more thing I should mention. The hotel security excludes puppets like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
Yeah, everyone else seems much more artificial. They're a little upsetting to walk up on. They give you, like, Bioshock Splicer vibes, but I'm like Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet. I am Mr. Hot Tumblr Sexy Man. Hidden Moonstone. The Moonstone was not from this world. However, who's reading all that quickly? However, it was the most optimal enhancement material. In their urgency, technicians pushed forward using the Moonstone for weapon upgrade without time to review any further. Upgrades normal weapon blade up to +3. So there must be a blacksmith at some point, and this is the regular Titanite. And then you'll get, like, stronger versions of it later that get the next tier. We're pretty much doing the same system step for step. I said I'll need to lie. But I'm not a puppet. I'm puppy. If anyone thought for even a second I wasn't going to immediately put the fursuit head on and then just leave that on for the rest of the playthrough. Boy, you haven't been paying attention.
Welcome to the sanctuary of the Grand Covenant. Prove your identity. Who are you?
Human?
Grand Covenant's fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
Oh, well that's a very easy security system. Your springs are reacting. Oh, That... Haha, I get it. I didn't get it at first, but I get it. So we're like a more advanced android, essentially, so we're able to lie. Because there's a rule of... one of the laws of robotics in this setting is that they're not allowed to lie at all, so... Their level of security of getting rid of not letting any androids in is that... Any puppets in is that simple. They just ask them if they're a puppet, and then if they say yes, you fry them, I guess, and if they say no, then you let them in, because they can't lie. But of course we can lie. We're Pinocchio. That's the whole point. I don't think his nose grows, but... That'd be very funny. The Lies of P. Title drop. Get it now? Get it? Wow, they're inventing color. This is the Giver. Putting them all in a giant corpse cage is a very soulsy thing to do, but why are the puppets doing that? What's the motivation for that action? That was very pretty. The loading screen is a growing nose. Oh, and there's the butterfly.
I'm so happy to see you.
Have you done something with your hair?
Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Krat to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers, but we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Krat is dangerous for humans, and that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard. I'll explain more once you find him.
Hello. You can level up through Sophia using the ergo in your possession. You can increase your stats when you level up. They didn't... That's weird, right? Were they expecting me to go this far without leveling up? Was I overpowered in that last boss fight? Because all the bonfires let me level, but they didn't explain leveling yet, I don't think. They're like, hey, if you level up, your stats go up. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, buddy. I noticed. Let's see. We should be able to easily get enough ergo for that.
I think he's in shock.
Gemini is fine.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor, but perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krat is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one.
It's interesting to think back through where, like, I guess maybe they intentionally made it so that you could not level up after that boss fight, just so that when that tutorial popped up, you then could level up, so that it wasn't lying, or it wasn't confusing you. But I don't know what the purpose of that is, because if you already could level up, then what's the point of stopping people from leveling up if they already figured out how to do it? Then it's not like they're gonna get confused by trying to level up and not successfully leveling. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. The Moon Phase Pocket Watch. Teleport to hotel or last stargazer used. A pocket watch from Sophia. The power inside the watch returns the user to the last stargazer visited or to the hotel's stargazer. A pocket watch imbued with mystical power. The power of the watch turns back time to when the boy was in peak condition. Turns back time. You would kind of think that that means you also lose your abilities, but it seems like, or not your abilities, your currencies. But it doesn't seem to be like a death item that makes you lose your stuff.
I'll use my power to help you.
Let faith be mended. About Ergo.
Ergo is the miracle that made Krat prosper. Without Ergo, there would be no automated puppets to make Krat wealthy. When you move, you tap into the power of Ergo within you. Gather more Ergo. It will make you stronger.
About Monad's lamp.
In the folklore of Krat, a cricket often acts as a guide. That is why these automated models became popular. But Gemini is unique. He's more than just a guide. As you get more familiar with Gemini, you'll see what I mean.
Alright, so I guess we need to fix up Gemini. Gemini. Is his personality supposed to be different than this? Big stargazer. Teleport to another stargazer. You can transfer from one stargazer to another. You can only travel to those you've activated. Stargazers in areas like with an event will be marked as with a hint. So I can go back to the two that I saw before, I believe. Or here to Hotel Krat, where there are, I guess those icons indicate there's multiple characters here. There's an old lady and a lady with brown hair. She does look like an old lady, huh? So I take it that's a different character than her? It just doesn't feel like it needs to say that she's here. But you're not any of the people on that thing either. Oh, you're a puppet.
Welcome to Hotel Krat. My name is Polendina, butler to Lady Antonia. Please let me know how I may be of service. At Hotel Krat, comfort and calm walk hand in hand. Welcome to Hotel Krat. How may I be of service?
Legion magazine. A polymer filling that activates the Legion's arm's specific ability can be implanted in a Legion arm to charge Legion rapidly. There's the Legion thing.
The Grand Covenant is a set of absolute commands imprinted on puppets when they are made. First law. All puppets must obey their creator's commands. Second law. A puppet may not harm humans. Third law. A puppet protects and serves humans and the city of Krat. Fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. I've told you about the laws engraved upon every puppet. Do you require anything else?
A puppet cannot lie. Nope, there's the old lady.
Unexpected guests are welcome. We don't insist on reservations. I am Antonia, and this is my hotel. Welcome. Oh, I knew from the moment we met that you're Geppetto's puppet. He might have a few loose screws, but Geppetto's skills are undiminished. It's a shame. He took off for Elysian Boulevard, and he never came back. If it doesn't turn up soon, we'll have to make a new coffin. Oh, I forgot. I was keeping this for him. It comes with a long story, but I think it's better off with you. Please find that old man, and do take care of yourself out there.
Someone's memory. Show off clothes. The uniform of a sophisticated and dignified boarding school. These clothes have been worn before. The initial M is engraved on an elegant brooch. I don't want it. Might as well equip those there. That's what we've got.
People have no idea so many secrets are buried in Krat. Thanks for keeping me company. What are you curious about? I see you're here. That means you can lie. Your lies are a rare ability. You're able to choose your own path, unbound by anything. People on the outside are still afraid of puppets. Lie to protect yourself and find your path. I'm an old friend of Geppetto's. His son is like family to me. Make yourself at home. You're always welcome here at the hotel. If you have any questions, ask my butler, Polendina.
She's a little deflecty about it. People out there are afraid of puppets. Yeah, like you. Your hotel has a security system that kills puppets for approaching. Unless they can lie, which is a thing that no one else can do, seemingly. How do I level up my piano skill? Benigni's Krat, right? That's how they're saying it. Landmark Guide 1. This month's attraction, Hotel Krat. Hotel Krat is one of the city's creepiest and most mysterious buildings. According to lore, Hotel Krat is an isolated castle built by an aristocrat devoted to a form of occultism after receiving a revelation from a radiant tree. At one point, it was used as a mental institution, and some patients say they saw hallucinations. However, no records remain, as they were all destroyed in a large fire. Above all, being so far underground just compounds the rumors. Some even say that it's connected to an unknown hell. But now the rumors have served to embellish the charm of Hotel Krat, which has been renovated in the latest style. As the recent rumors of the grand exhibition Ghost Hotel spread, more customers are actually looking to stay at the hotel. Next is a comment from the hotel owner, Miss Antonia. A hotel ghost? I've heard that more times than I can remember. But fortunately, our hotel guests are brave like lions. It isn't a problem at all. Rating 4 out of 5. Creepy and mystical. Best resort in Krat. The best we have in town is a 4 out of 5. Whoops. Reporter Medoro. This guide was made with the support of Venigni Company, a friend of the city. This stood out to me just because it's like, it sounds like a series of references to Souls games. It's probably a leap, but I'm just like, an isolated castle, Boletarian, Demon Souls, a radiant tree, Elden Ring, a mental institution, Bloodborne. I'm just like, it just sounds like all of FromSoft's games like lumped together into a sentence. They're kind of cute if they're going for anything like that. But they're not necessarily doing anything like that at all. The tree is where it really stood out to me, where I started looking at the sentence again. This building is too large. Okay, let's stay downstairs for now. And poke at this stuff first. Something big is wrapped up here. Craft machine, switch Legion arm. I can't, but here's where you do it. At a glance, I wouldn't have expected that to be interactive.
I heard about you from Geppetto, but to see you in person, wow. You should take this. Geppetto left it with me.
Ooh, I actually have a Legion thing now. Legion arm is a special equipment that is equipped on the left arm. Each Legion arm has its own combat ability. Legion arms can be modified in all sorts of forms. Modifications can be used at the Venigni craft machine. Puppet string, like a grappling hook or something? Can't do it yet. A Legion arm that can release a wire. It can be strung around an enemy to drag it towards you or to move you towards it. Stalkers devise a tool that increases their mobility during combat with puppets. The wire instantly narrows the distance between one and one's enemy, but it cannot guarantee one's safety afterwards. It would either bring the enemy to you, or in the case of boss fights, probably pull you to the enemy. But it's like Nero's devil arm from Devil May Cry 4, is what I'm getting from that. The fight's still gonna happen afterwards, and you're very much in danger, potentially, if you aren't reacting and timing it correctly. But it's a gap closer.
The sound of it alone. That craftsmanship comes only from the hands of Geppetto. You must be something else. A custom arm from Geppetto himself is quite an accessory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Eugenie from the Workshop Union. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. I'm sure Master Geppetto would agree. If any of your weapons need work, bring them to me. I know my way around a weapon. Want me to look at something? A stargazer is a survival device used by the stalkers. It powers itself by accumulating and absorbing ergo spores in the air. The stalkers installed stargazers all across the city. Once they're recovered, we can put them to use. If you want to test your skills or try new techniques, head for the garden. The stalkers captured a puppet to use for training. Don't look at me like that. Everyone hates puppets. I know whose side you're on.
You said that weird. Upgrade a weapon. If you have a moonstone, usually can help you upgrade a weapon's blade. A weapon's attack power will increase when you upgrade the blade. Some blades can only be upgraded with a special moonstone. You need 200 ergo and a hidden moonstone to increase the damage by 12, which is worth doing, unless we're trying to change weapons, which I'm always a little worried about upgrading my first weapon, but this is thankfully a subgenre where weapons are more likely to be viable game long than they are in others. Alter handle. You can bring cranks to alter weapon handles. Each handle's property upgrades based on your character's default abilities. You can change this property and grade one time with the handle alteration. However, you can always reset it with a balanced crank. You can change this property and grade one time. Huh. Okay, so this is... I get it. This is when you change your sword in Dark Souls to be like a smart weapon or whatever, a sharp weapon, and it'll like scale differently with different stats more so. So you can make it go harder towards motivity, but then lose technique scaling. Go towards technique, but have weaker motivity scaling. Advance just increases its advance, which don't know what advance means because there's so many words. I don't know what all the words mean, but advance does something, I guess. It seems intuitive enough that I'll try to find a motivity crank and make it even better at strength damage, if this is what I'm doing. But we don't have the item for that. But we do have the item for this, so I just need to go consume a couple rocks.
I know my way around a weapon.
Alright, so plus 12 damage. Doesn't specifically mention increasing scaling. So I don't know if it's just a base damage increase or if the scaling actually gets better. Either way. So what's glowing back here? Organize this place according to the rules, so don't touch anything. All those little cats and like 2 dogs. They're all just staring at one sleeping cat. It looks like a little, it looks like a tiny cat nativity scene or something. Very odd. Am I gonna pull my weapon out as I walk out here? Yep. Alright, well that does not pull me towards it, or it towards me. Maybe it doesn't work on these guys specifically? Oh. I guess this is the puppet you practice on. Hope it heals. Yeah, when I saw its health bar going down, I did have the wonder for a moment of like, if you defeat it, do you get rewards of some kind? Feels like an odd thing to reward you for, but if it dies, it dies. But it can't actually die. It fake dies. Great fortune to all visitors, rest for all travelers, blessings to all friends. This is just a little practice area. One which doesn't serve its primary function you would expect it to have, which is that they just gave me this ability, so you would think I would want to practice that ability and see how it works before I try to use it against a real enemy. And it's the ability you got 1 second before they introduced that practice area, but then it's not usable in that practice area, so that's just strange. They should really just, like, in whatever code's happening in the background, just flag that enemy as a large enemy that pulls me towards it instead of it towards me. Because it looks like they're like, well, this type of enemy should be pulling itself towards me, but he's tied to a post, so that can't happen, so... break the animation? It seems like it should be an easy enough solution to instead just say, hey, it's a heavy enemy, so pull me towards it. And then I get to try my ability. The way these look like doorways. These little nooks. I've got my eye on you. Not getting in there yet. We'll have to keep that in mind because it being interactive suggests that it'll come up at some point. Conspicuously missing railing, but I don't see anything to do there. Weird cherub baby things. Oh, I need a special key for that one. So upstairs is, for now, a whole lot of nothing. These not doors? I suppose not. Not this time. New zone, who dis? So far it is kind of remarkable just how much this kind of like there's parts that don't feel like it, like the tutorials and whatnot, but to an although that I think this happened in Sekiro. But I'm surprised by how much this kind of like can purchase items from Polinda in the hotel. Okay. The extent to which you go into this and it just starts to feel like, oh, this just is a From Software game. Which is not entirely the case. Not everything quite feels like that. Like, in particular, like there's a certain like movement and like there's a rendering style. There's a fidelity here that is like oddly authentic. Like it has the same kind of feel. Like it's not a one-to-one recreation of Bloodborne specifically, but it does. The parts that don't feel exactly like Bloodborne do kind of give off the vibe of like Dark Souls 3 and the weird specific way that Dark Souls 3 had Bloodborne in it. Like it was a melding of the two, in part because it literally did feature like leftover things that weren't used in Bloodborne and so on. There's a noticeable way that between Dark Souls 2 and 3, the games got noticeably like just a bit grosser, just a bit dirtier and grungier compared to Dark Souls 1 and 2. I don't think it was entirely a generational leap, but also just like an aesthetic tilt. And there's elements of this that are definitely feel familiar. Friends, foes,
Hey, let's be more careful. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I hate these guys. But don't be alarmed. My name is Gemini. We'll talk later, when we're safe.
My name is Gemini. We'll talk later. Huh. I think this thing's turned off. Oh, it's on. I wonder if it affects stealth. It does kind of make a cricket noise, doesn't it? That was just very startling. I had Hellkite Drake flashback, so I just ran back away, thinking I was crossing a threshold of something that will attack me. Huh. That was a different voice. So like something's been up. So we haven't been talking to Gemini so far? This is a different person? I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't step in that spotlight. I wonder what's going on here. We heard a new voice. They introduced themselves as Gemini. And they do sound like they might be the real them, given the hint we got about how the current one didn't sound like the real one, according to her. Something that we can't quite vouch for. Stargazer activate. Not useful to us yet because we just walked down a hall from our last hangout spot, but it'll be our proper one for the level. I've never died yet, have I? So I've never respawned. That guy don't got no head on. What's up? Oh, they saw me. But that guy didn't see me. Okay. So I saw that guy facing me and saw this guy facing away and thought if I go down here, assassinate this guy, then crawl upstairs, I can assassinate that guy. That's the stealth route. The fact that I can still stealth with my lantern on's a little funny, but maybe they don't have the lantern playing to stealth and just let me be able to see the video game. It's such an interesting mix of doing their own thing and very much just like copy pasting things from Souls games, like having a thing on your hip that lights up your surroundings from Demon Souls. Oh, that guy's alive too. Bye-bye. These guys are
Elysian Boulevard was a regular rich people row. You wanted fancy boutiques and shops. No place better. But that was long ago. Before the puppet frenzy.
The puppet frenzy. Where were you at the time of the puppet frenzy? Hi! Oh, he's alive. Weird. They've been dying so far. I need to get the habit down of noticing which side's which. Kind of have trouble recognizing which side's the side you can open or can't open. I'll figure it out. Or just try it every time and get shocked. But yeah, the enemies are straightforward enough here that you can kind of get around just taking no hits, so it's kind of an endurance run at the moment, where you just kind of try to play perfectly, because every mistake you do make does eat into your supply of health. And eventually, mistakes will get you in trouble. Okay, there's more guys. Oh, it's 4 of them. There's one upstairs, too. Somebody's shooting at me? Is that happening? That guy didn't come after me. That's surprising. Oh, it's because he's the one that was shooting. Gotcha. Very rude. Stop that. What is this? A Leda F-150 frame. Okay. A new defensive option. It's a frame, so it goes here. There's my lightweight, and there's my Leda F-150. Oh, right. It takes my weight to 10, which is increasing it by 4.2. But it also doubles my defenses. So my options right now are to double my defenses or half my defenses. This one takes me to 52%. Will I fat roll? Not exactly. It's not very expensive to roll. Wait a minute. Oh, that one was heavier. Ah. I think I am slower. I'm not great at comparing frame data by eye, but I do think it is making me roll slower, which is a concern. But I'm not super heavy on rolling, especially if I end up going leaning towards parrying and try to practice that skill up, which is a point of folly that always backfires so far. But if I lean towards that direction, I might not want to have. I might not care that much about having good rolling. Always check the quality of ergo. Ah! Go! Whew. Just did not quite register at first that there was a weird cliff right there, diagonally. And then additional surprises came while I was learning that. Huh? Did I knock him over by rolling? Does my roll... Is that what... Can weight do that? Can I can... Oh! Caught my swing. That's interesting. We get a few different interactions there. Yeah, your swing can catch on walls, which isn't a huge surprise. But if you roll into someone, you can stun them with the roll and stumble them. I wonder if that's... I wonder if that... Like, I'm sure different enemies get stunned and other ones don't, and it might be based on some kind of stat, and I'm sure certain boss fights probably are, they're probably not even on the table for that. And in his case, like maybe even your weight stat might affect it, because that's one of our stats. The ladder to where? Ah, that's where I went down and ambushed the guy, then went around and ambushed that guy. Okay, so that's the beginning of the level. It's after the respawn point. Hello, funny man. Ah. Oh! This guy's like a proper dude. My bad. He didn't stand out to me as being like a dude. Okay, that sucked. He surprised me. Okay, so I need to get better at recognizing that guy as opposed to the other guys. They just look like guys. But I guess if there's a guy holding out a big weapon at a weird, awkward right angle with his arm, then I should spot that as being the heavy dude. Because yeah, I just kind of wailed on him, expecting him to be dead in 2 hits. And then was very surprised when he just hyper armored through my attacks and then fought back. And I'm like, wait, hang on a minute, you were supposed to die like immediately. Yeah, I don't know how well I'll recognize people holding weapons weird, because that guy's doing that too. They just look weird in general. Yep. That's enough of you guys. Who sets up a door like that? Ever so slightly open. Yep. I heard gun noise. The chimney sweep? I guess they are made of like wire and stuff. That'd be a bad thing to get hit by. I don't think a chimney sweep is quite like a broom exactly, but that's like the instinctive thing you would imagine it as. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim churu. Ha! I grew up with that movie. I feel like they were soft looking in that movie though. I don't know. This has been the latest edition of Things I Don't Know Anything About. Nothing makes you more worldly than playing video games for a living. Don't love this, but it looks possible. Blazing Blitz Abrasive, so we got a sticky white stuff. There is an item down there, so I do want to get down there. And apparently have not been there yet. But I don't want to fall. Oh, there's a ladder. Yeah, I imagine I cannot survive this fall. There's also a ladder here. I heard a cat. Ah! Oh, there's the stuff I... Lightning bomb. Someone throwing it at me. It's coughing. You right, buddy? Ah, it was a rapid little swing. Expected him to rear up, and then I would dodge it. Do I talk to the people at these? Like in Bloodborne? Or just hear sounds? They said there's some kind of plague in it. I would guess that... Go downstairs first. Maybe that's a dead end. This seems like it's going to be a whole thing. They hinted at a plague at some point, and I imagine that the lady with half of her face going stone-like is probably afflicted by that. That's a very peculiar pose for that. Attribute purification ampoule. Remove status ailments. Okay. It's probably the other side of the shortcut from earlier. So how close are we to the thingy? Where am I? Where am I? There it is. So we're never going to be using that ladder. We've already been around that. But I guess I might as well use this. I do need to use... Okay, talk to Gemini's here. Nope, not that one. Oh, did they take away leveling? Do you have to always level back at camp now? That's a little annoying when you were already given the option to do it the other way before. That means always having a loading screen. How fast does this game load on PC? So now you always level up with her. They just let you level up before the first boss fight on your own, and then they just take it away completely. That at least makes more sense. I don't love it. I don't see why they can't just let you level wherever, but now it better makes sense, at least now, like why that whole mechanic mysteriously disappeared, and then it was tutorialized that she levels you. I'm like, that's weird. Why force this tutorial when I already leveled up? But it's because they're trying to set up that only you can only level up with her.
I'll use my power to help you.
Do. Just take my HP up another chunk. Probably want other stats eventually. I mean, at some point I'm gonna want stamina, right? We'll see. I need more than 600, so I need 700 ergo to level up, which I probably have, but I'm not sure. The answer is yes.
I'll use my power.
There we go. Rounded that out. Alright, Jiminy. Look how fucking cool he looks. I just wish that he blinked. It seems like you can only talk to Jiminy when you're not here. Just peculiar.
I'm Jiminy, your friendly puppet guide. Or friendly guide puppet? I don't know, one of those. I'm also a friend of Sophia's. Last time I woke up, Sophia was there because she woke me up. But I'm sure there are still other memories in there. Sorry. Must be the shock. Bear with me, and I'll do my best to guide you.
So that's the real one. I guess we'll just see where that goes. Do-do-do. Let's see about how effectively I could run back to where we were. That was the shortcut door, right? I think now I'm going the right way. My goal is to get up this ladder. Yep. I got a little lost, so for a second there I was a little worried about whether or not I actually find my way back. That, especially where the rail fell on it, stands out as a platform you'd want to like land on, but I don't know if there's anything to do there. Alright, can they use ladders? Huh. I would have expected yes. Maybe they can, but he just doesn't aggro that far. There we go. Ow! Oh, that dodge didn't work out. Okay. The same guy? No, there's two guys up there throwing bombs. I technically have some projectiles, but I don't know how that's going to work out necessarily. Ooh, it's a long rear up. Ooh. Oh, I see you. tried to deflect it. That was unsuccessful. You guys haven't gotten me yet. Reach did not work out there. Okay. I was about to say, like, you just block it. It's easy. You do one little block and it completely destroys this entire charge. But then my follow-up attack missed because of the distance created by that. So there's messes to get through here. Frozen Man's Letter. My Louise and Charlotte. My treasure. I can't hear anything. I think the streets are already dead. Nothing but silence. I assume that I too will become just another petrified corpse soon. I still remember the sound of your singing voice and the sight of Charlotte looking at picture books. I miss all of it. The best thing I did when I was alive was send you and Charlotte to the cathedral for shelter. Oh, but you gotta pose. I wish this nightmare was all over. If only you and the kid could come back. But I guess now it's impossible. I love you, Louise. I pray that you're safe there. Okay, so there's a petrification sickness that is spreading through everybody while the puppet craze is also happening. Oh, look at that guy. Looks like the BioShock Infinite enemies. Handyman, I think they were called. There's also one upstairs. Oh! That was not the kill I hoped it would be. There's an electric shock. Okay. So it's not just that it does electric damage. The electric, like, glitz or whatever it was called is also itself a status effect. They need to be worried about building up. I imagine it either stuns you or does a spike of damage when it fills. There's that guy again. I love level design that does this, where it just keeps highlighting some big thing to look forward to. An upcoming big bad enemy, or like some kind of loot or something, and you just keep wondering how to get there as you get to different poses, different spots. Ideally, the levels are also made in, oh god, in a way that's where it's easy to keep track of where you're going and maintain a mental map of what you're up to. But at the very least, at the very least, it's very nice just to be able to tell what's going on. Like, constantly having a reference point in the environment that you know you need to get to at some point. Okay. I don't understand this. It said it pulls people towards me or me towards them, but it's I need to try it on normal enemies. And this guy's having a bad time. God damn. Attribute purification. Alright, yeah, that's that again. Huh, well he got absolutely melted. I spent all my blue meter on him. Yeah, I need to remember to do the grappling hook on a normal enemy and get a baseline for how it works. Because everyone I've tried it on so far, it doesn't do anything. It does like 0.2 damage, and I'm like, cool. And then it retracts and it uses up the ammo. Yep, and as I kind of figured, I can repair my weapon, but I can't recharge my ammo with my grinding stone. So my arm doesn't come back. Let's go to the normal inventory. Star fragment, a meteor fragment that can be found in different parts of Krat. Can be used at the cracks calling in front of the at the cracks calling in front of a boss area to summon a specter. Star fragments cross dimensions to grant human wishes. If you wish it desperately enough, they may be able to summon someone who wants to help save this world. So there's summons. Does this game have multiplayer? I don't usually expect the Souls-likes to have multiplayer because it's just, that's actually a lot to implement. But it might be NPC summons. There we go, there's something else that was new. Life Amulet. Increases max HP. Weight 1.3. An amulet that can be equipped on a puppet. Information and memories that are useful for movement can be imprinted on the symbol to draw out special powers. The slightest blink is enough to make a puppet move. Puppets do not have life, but it is enough to move them. The slightest blink is enough to make a puppet move. Puppets do not have life, but it is enough to move them. What a weird sentence. Move to equipment. Amulets. Health up. Nothing else is there, so definitely gonna use it. But I should have compared. 440. Or 12, so it gives me 28 health, which is not amazing, but I mean, what else am I gonna wear in that slot? So, whatevs. Is that tiny, empty chunk of my health how much it adds? Or is it just how much damage I had taken? Baby. Flying baby. This room should be safe because this is here. Oh, yep. Well then, we're all good. Any updates from Jiminy? Nope. Not yet. His eyes bugging out just gives me like that. It just takes me back to like that Nom flashbacks dog meme. Just like the things he has seen, he'll never be the same.